Dr. Datta, I'll begin with you. Well, I'm sure you're from Bengal, you love India, you're a nationalist, you know the history of Vande Mataram. It did talk about Ma Durga in the stanzas that were removed. They were removed because the Muslim League, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, all objected to its quote unquote non inclusive nature of India's secular fabric. And that is why Jana Gan Man was adopted as the national song. But for decades, the Congress and the people who, in fact, who wanted to feel motivated to participate in the freedom struggle to rid ourselves of colonial chains, took inspiration from Vande Mataram. In retrospect, I know it's history that we are revisiting. Do you think that it could have been a different India had Vande Mataram been our national song?
Yes, absolutely. Vinit, I start with Vande Mataram only, and it gives in a kind of a goosebump the moment you say Vande Mataram or the moment you say Jai Hind, because these are such patriotic slogans and it has such a long history behind it that it cannot be erased and it cannot be, washed out. It is true that Pandit Nehru was vehemently opposed to the whole song of Vande Mataram. He found it to be quite communal. I don't see any reason as to what is so communal about Vande Mataram. He had written a letter to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose way back in 1937 saying that if we adopt the whole Vande Mataram in independent Bharat, then perhaps it will communalize the society and many might take it in a communal way, in a communal color. I still cannot figure out as to what made Pandit Nehru think on those lines, because anyways, it was also the freedom cry of the Indian National Congress also during the time of the freedom movement, that everyone used to greet each other with Vande Mataram, and Vande Mataram was a rallying point across the nook and corner of the whole Indian subcontinent. I remember that during the partition of Bengal of 1905, both in East Bengal, the present-day Bangladesh, as well as in West Bengal, the undivided Bengal, the rallying point against the British Raj was Vande Mataram, and the whole movement for reunification of Bengal started with Vande Mataram. And even if I say that there is a religious connotation, what is the harm in it? There are 51 Shakti Pits across the Indian subcontinent, and Shakti Pit is there right from Dhakeshwari to Hinglaj, from Kathmandu, from Kailash Mansarovar to Annapurna to Sri Lanka, south there, down there in the southern part of Indian subcontinent, in the island there, in Anuradhapura. So if there are Shakti Peeths of 51 in number across the nook and corner of the Indian subcontinent, and which is, a cultural symbol of the Indian subcontinent. So if there is an obeisance or if there is a prayer to Goddess Durga also, there is no harm in it, because after all, Goddess Durga is Mother Goddess, and the cult of Mother Goddess is there in every civilization, whether in the Babylonian civilization, Sumerian, Egyptian, or for that matter, the Chinese civilization, Southeast Asia, name Mayan civilization, Inca civilization, name any civilization, the cult of Mother Goddess is there in every civilization. And even in Islam also, the notion of Maryam is who? Maryam is the goddess mother, and she is also revered in Islam, and then so is Mother Mary in Christianity. So what is so communal about Goddess Durga or about the Mother Goddess, and if it was a rallying point across the Indian subcontinent, I see no reason as to what made Pandit Nehru think on communal lines in relation to this. I would appeal to the present government that the whole song of Vande Mataram should be incorporated into the Indian Constitution as our national song. Our national anthem is, of course, Jana Gana Mana, and that will remain there forever. But the whole song of Vande Mataram needs to be incorporated in the 150 years of the celebration of Vande Mataram as a national song, and I think the whole song needs to be adopted by the Indian Parliament.